All right, we're rolling. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's Saturday, March 7th. Wow. First week of the month of March is in the bag, which is pretty awesome. But anyhow, for those of you who do not know me, many of you are new, my name is David Scoltetti, and it's just a pleasure to have you. We're really excited about this. We do this training every single Saturday at this time, every single week. It's got a little bit of a different twist to it, but honestly, a lot of times it's the same information because we know that the basics of this business are really what makes the whole thing roll. So appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. And so what we're going to go over with today, we sent a text out about the 1, 2, 3 approach to getting pre-enrollees into your business. And the reason why we want to focus on that is because that's your barometer for your business. That's your barometer for your business. And we'll talk about the system. We'll talk about how to use it. We'll talk about some of the philosophical approaches to it. Maybe you can talk about some of the words that work and stuff like that. But it's the system that you have to be dependent upon. And in my 27 years of building network marketing organizations, I can tell you the majority of that career, it was very people dependent. And what's been very refreshing over the last, 7 weeks now with My Daily Choice is that it's just really refreshing to be able to do nothing more than edify Josh, edify the company and their success, and put people through a process where they can learn about the company, they can learn about the products, they can learn about how they get paid and how they get started from somebody other than ourselves. And so, if you're interested in building a real successful business, we're going to really focus on that point because that really is the baseline, of the whole thing. So, but before I get into that, let's talk about a couple other basics. And I think this is important, especially for those of you who are relatively or brand new to this team. Number one, if you are new, you want to make sure that whomever enrolled you added you or invited you, I should say, to the One Team Works Facebook page. This page is where you're going to get a lot of communication. It's going to be a platform where you can introduce your new affiliates, let them feel welcome to the team. We'll be putting a lot of information out there on a regular basis. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Facebook Lives and stuff that'll be of value as well. But definitely get added to that. And if you're not getting the regular text reminders, maybe somebody can put this in the chat, you simply need to text One Team Works, all one word with an X on the end, One Team Works to 46786. And what that will do is give real-time alerts to affiliates when we do Zooms like this. And we don't Zoom you to death on this thing, guys. What we do on a weekly basis is there's 2 core team events that we do. One of which is what you're on right now, every single Saturday. And the second of which is our Monday Mastermind that happens at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And each and every week, we kind of mix it up. We have different affiliates who are having success, and we like doing interviews and a lot of news you can use. But it's really the baseline. We try to keep it to 30, 35, maybe even 40 minutes, depending on the content. But it's something you definitely want to plug into on a regular basis. So for those of you who are new, by the way, let's just talk about why you're doing this business. Now, I'm not going to tell you why you're doing this, but I think the important message here is, and I have to remind myself this almost every day, I'm as human as everybody else, is we all need some type of emotional why of why we're going out as an entrepreneur, why we're selecting network marketing as that vehicle, and more specifically, why my daily choice? What is it in it for us? Why are we doing it? And honestly, it just can't be about making money. Okay, some of you may say, gosh, well, this is a business. Why wouldn't it be about making money? Well, the reason being is that when you have a more emotional, broader why to why you're doing it, whether it be to have location freedom, whether it be to stay home with your newborn child or your young children, whether it be to, maybe just start a new career, maybe just channel your passion to something that's much more worthy, much more gratifying. Maybe it's to go out and make an impact on life and other people's lives. And there's so many reasons why you'd want to do this business, but getting an emotional wrap around it will not only keep you on the rails, right? But also will become part of your story as you're talking to people. So that's a really, really important piece. So, in this business also, the other thing I'll say is that It's funny, people people get involved in network marketing for lots of different reasons. And they come from all different backgrounds, all different experiences, some entrepreneurial, some not so much. But the key to this whole thing, guys, is duplication, right? It's duplication. It's duplication. And what's really important is you want to model what you want to duplicate. That modeling starts at the enrollment process. So you're going to hear this time and time again. Some of you may be saying, oh my gosh, he's saying it again. He's saying, yeah, exactly. This is a really simple business if you allow it to be. And it all starts at the enrollment process. And I think all of you know that we enroll ourselves, we enroll others at the executive level in this business. Okay, now there's an executive pack. That's not what I'm referencing. Lots of people come at the executive pack because of the value-based proposition with that. But what I mean by the executive level is a minimum of 200 BV at your enrollment point. Okay, the most popular packages, by the way, that people come in at that level are a director pack plus the Mantra essential oils, or a director pack plus the 1500 CBD tincture. Okay, and so it's real important to model that, because what happens is, however you enter the program, that's how the people are going to enter that you bring in. Okay, it's as simple as that. Because if you haven't experienced already, people are going to ask you, how did you personally enroll? Okay, so enrolling at the executive pack is really important. The second thing that you do at the point of enrollment is making sure that you're on a 90-point auto ship, because that's what's going to keep you qualified as an executive, which the important part there is you get paid 50% on your personal enrollments. Okay, so getting yourself enrolled as an executive, making sure you're on a 90-point auto ship is really important. And then thirdly, right out of the gate, getting binary qualified. And binary qualification, but the binary part of the compensation plan doesn't even kick in until the second month and beyond, but it's your residual income in this business. So that really is your first step. And that's just as simple as enrolling 90 points on your left, 90 points on your right leg, and you're binary qualified. Okay, so pretty basic stuff. We can expand upon that. But the process that we kind of teach people when they're launching their business is something we talked about on a Zoom a couple weeks ago, which is the power of 4. And this is something that we learned from Josh and Jenna when we asked them, hey, what's the basics of the business? What should people really do in the binary compensation plan that want to go out and duplicate and build an organization? And they said very simply, it's the power of 4, which in essence is however you came in enrolling 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right leg. Now, what happens when you do that? Well, number one, you get a return on your business startup. No matter how you enroll, you get an absolute return. You get all your money back and some. And that's going to translate into a couple of things. Number one, it's going to show yourself and other people that this is not a hard business. And I really want to emphasize this. This is not a difficult business, guys. The difficulty in this business, and we're going to talk about this, is staying consistent, being proactive, reaching out to the right people, having conversations. That's the hard part, quote unquote. But we all know that comes down to a mindset. That comes down to releasing any limiting beliefs, releasing any fear that may be lingering in your head, of concern about prejudgment, so on and so forth. So showing yourself, showing others that this is not hard, real important part of the power of 4. The third part is that it will put you on the leaderboard. Okay, and as you guys know, over the first, it's only been a month and a half that we've been doing this, we've had some great team members on the leaderboard. I'm here to tell you that you want to be on that leaderboard every single week, or every single month rather. And the reason being is twofold. Number one, you're constantly making the jumpstart money, right? You're constantly enrolling. It means you're constantly talking to people. It means you're constantly making money, and this is a business. But more importantly, I think it shows that you're leading by example. You're leading by example. So being on that leaderboard is really great. And then lastly, every time you enroll 4 new customers or affiliates in the program, you become part of their global bonus pool, which can be significant, especially if you're rank advancing. That pool can be pretty substantial. So Dana, I think one of the things that you and I have talked a lot about over the last couple of weeks are the people on the leaderboard, the importance of it, and what it translates to. And I think we both personally know, and we know the people who have been on there, what that is translated to into their checks. Do you have anything else you'd like to speak to as far as that leaderboard is concerned?
Getting on the leaderboard means that they will qualify to be in our special accelerator group. So we have an accelerator group that's just for those that are running. If you get on the leaderboard, you qualify. So Aniko, Marissa, Donald, Stephanie are all in that accelerator group right now, which means daily accountability, Zooms every week, in special incentives just for that group. And getting on the leaderboard just means money in your pocket and in your bank account, right? We want you guys to get your investment back, to get duplication on your team in the simplest way possible. And everything David just said, you're going to kind of keep it in your notes and in your head when you have a new affiliate, because you want to turn around and get their investment back right away and get them their first belief check. That means they get a check that shows them they can do it. And that's the most important thing to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so as you go out of here, again, whether you're brand new, and I think we're all brand new, to be honest with you. We're only 6 or 7 weeks into this, so we're all kind of real new at this thing. The key from my perspective is, I kind of liken it to, running or cycling. I mean, there's two facets of that. There's the sprints, and then there's the marathon aspect. There's the ongoing piece. When you're trying to create personal momentum in your business, obviously success loves speed. So talking to a lot of people, having lots of conversations, putting lots of people through the process in a short period of time is what's really going to prime the pump and get you out of the gate. But ultimately, we all know that you can only sustain that type of activity for so long. And the key is getting down to a cadence, some type of cadence that works within your world, right? Because look, many of you have other careers, you have other jobs, other businesses, lots of things that you have to juggle. We're all to balance that out is a really key piece to this thing. So just remember, success loves speed. Now, as far as the system is concerned, this is a pretty important thing, guys. I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to throw it to Dana for her perspective on things. But I think the importance of understanding the system is that it works. It works. And so the first thing, when there's kind of three things we do here. Number one, we go public and we talk to people. We do excite and invite, right? I mean, that's the nature of what we're doing here. We're building a business. We're going public. We're letting people know. Now, when I say go public, I'm not talking about posting and praying. I mean, one of the craziest feelings I get that goes through my brain when I'm on social media is I see people now again, I'm not saying this is not part of the equation, but when you see people and you can feel it, they're just making a post and praying that somebody reaches out to them to join their business or purchase their product. That's not the way this thing works, guys. I got to tell you. I mean, I think a lot of people's social media. I actually had this discussion with my daughter yesterday. We were walking on the beach, doing a sunset walk, and we were talking about my business because she sees how hard I'm working, and we were talking about social media, and she said to me, "Why don't you just post, on social?" And I was like, "You're right, Grace. That could be part of this, but it's not really the overall answer. It's just part of the equation." So going public, being excited and talking to people, picking up the phone, messaging people, and setting appointments, that's really what makes this thing go around, because it's a relationship business. Secondly, obviously the most focal point is to get people to take the tour. We're going to talk about that. But the main thing that I would say about taking the tour is setting the right expectations. I've got 36 people enrolled in the last 7 weeks personally. I've had almost 80 people take the tour. So you could do the numbers on that. It's not quite 50%. But as I look back and I'm looking about who enrolled and who didn't, a lot of the people who didn't, as I reflect back, I didn't really set the expectation. I was probably in a hurry, as one should be, but didn't maybe take the time. It was just send them a link. but didn't really reach out and have a conversation, see where they were, and set the right expectations as to, hey, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to send you a link. You're going to be able to test drive my marketing system, number one. But what I want you to do is put your name and email in. On the other side, there's going to be a 4-step video process, 4 videos that last 30 to 40 minutes, mind you. So tell them, look, this is going to take some time, and I really appreciate your time. If I send you this, will you watch it? You know, and so the people that I did that with, a much higher percentage of those people actually enrolled. Whereas the people that were just like, yeah, send me a link, and I just hit them with a link and moved on, not so much. There just wasn't, you know, I just didn't build up the right expectations, which I think is an important part. And then the last piece, which again, we're all at fault from time to time, is the follow-up. And we've all heard that saying that the fortune is ultimately in the follow-up, right? So the follow-up is really important. Now, what I will tell you, and Dana, I'm going to pass this off to you in a moment here, but what I want to tell you is some of the key parts, in my opinion, of how to work this system. Okay, number one, realize that you have to consider yourself a tour guide. We say this all the time, but become a well-paid tour guide. Your objective, your job in this thing is just to obviously speak to people, pique their interest, get compliant in terms of their interest, and then, like I just said, set the expectations and walk them through the tour. Okay, that's number one. Number two, don't make yourself the issue in this. This was something that so many people and so many other network marketing companies have to do because they don't have the proper tools. You see, they don't have the proper tools. Here, all you have to do is edify the company and edify Josh Swagel, who's ultimately going to be giving the tour. I mean, can you think about this for a moment? If you don't edify Josh, you know, the average mindset around going in there isn't even going to know who this person is, and people can kind of prejudge. What I do, very simply, is I edify the fact that I'm representing the world's largest CBD company, a company that's growing globally. They've done $300 million in sales in the last 30 months alone. And the primary founder and CEO of the company is a guy named Josh. And so when you go into this tour, you're going to hear Josh's story. You know, and I even go as far as saying, look, he's a young guy, he's 29 years old, way before his time, super smart, very strategic, and again, has built a $300 million business in just 30 months. That's how you edify somebody, okay? And so edifying people is a really important part. Thirdly, what I really love about the system is you can plan weekly and implement daily. And what that means is that each and every week, guys, we should have a plan. We'll talk about this in a couple of months. We should have a plan of what our plan of action is each week from Friday or Saturday for that matter. So let's say from today through Thursday, because those of you who know that have been using it, you know that the system will communicate on your behalf to your pre-enrollees and ultimately your affiliates. And the more people you put in as pre-enrollees, the more powerful the system will become. Okay, I had a personal enrollment this week. Her name is Susan. She's on the Zoom. Welcome, Susan. And Susan, actually, ironically, I think, you know, when she and I first connected, I think I didn't do a very good job of like setting the expectations because it was well over a month ago. And then she reached out to me this week and said, hey, like, what are these people being enrolled? I haven't started the business. Why are these people being enrolled into my business? And it was the magic of it. Ultimately, we followed up. We had, an extensive discussion of what she was looking to do and what we were all about and how we do it. And then she says, well, like, how do I enroll? It looks like the best way to enroll is with the executive package. And that's exactly what she did. And she saw the value in the package and went out and got a product. And here she is, ready to, get trained and launch her business. So planning weekly and implement daily is an important piece of this thing. Also, when you're going out there and you're exposing people, you have your own marketing system. I think what's really important is be strategic with the landing pages that you send people. Okay, go take the time, look at all the landing pages, pick out your top 3 or 4, that you're most comfortable with. But what I mean by strategic is, let's say you have a prospect that is into yoga. There's happens to be a landing page that has a woman doing a yoga pose. that may be very applicable. That would kind of hit a chord right out of the gate before somebody opts in. Okay. Same thing if you're leading with the CBD revolution, you know, you're leading with a CBD business, and that person is a business person. Maybe it is that the one or two landing pages with the hemp leaves and whatnot that really captivate them. Hey, maybe you're talking to somebody who's in retirement or approaching retirement and looking for an additional retirement income stream. There's a great landing page that addresses that. So grab those top 3 or 4, copy those links, put them in your notes in your phone, because you never know whom you're going to come across where you can just, you face to face, open that up, open your notes, copy it, paste it, text it, DM it, whatever it may be. Okay. Obviously, you got to be convicted, guys, when you're approaching people. You know, your belief system has to be really strong with what you're doing and why you're doing it. But as always, Dana, as you know, it's the consistency factor that's so darn important. So anyhow, they're my kind of like little tidbits and you know, pointers as it pertains to the system. I know you use the system super well. What else would you add to that?
For getting pre-enrollees, first of all, it's all about the motive that you have when you're talking to people. People can sense when you're genuine. There's something I've heard before in network marketing called commission breath, where people can sense when you're like a little bit excited and desperate, you know, like you don't realize you're doing it. You're just so excited. You finally got someone interested. You're working so hard. I highly urge you to take a step back and take a deep breath and think about, just think about who could really benefit from this, right? So I have 2 new people on this Zoom today that both took the tour this week, both enrolled, and one is James, and the other one is Crystal. So everyone say hi, James. Hi, Crystal. I would love to know, I don't know if James, good, James, you're on. Would you unmute, please, James, and just tell us how you felt when you took the video tour, what your thought was about it? Because really, the video tour does the work for you, and honestly, it helps you sort. It helps you find people that actually this would be great. It would be an addition. So James has a business with direct mailing for small businesses. He does the mail for sending out advertising in our local area. And we've been associated for a long time. He's a Reiki master as well. So James, tell us what you thought of the video tour, if you don't mind me putting you on the spot.
No, that's fine. The video tour, I really liked it. It went a long way in making it seem really simple and straightforward. I like the fact that it seems like it's a good tool that you can use when you're introducing people to it, kind of letting Josh speak for you and speak for the company itself. So I don't know, I thought it was really helpful, and it really laid it all out in a really very easy to understand way.
Yeah, so the reason I knew that you would do good with adding this business on with what you're already doing is because you're already out in the community, you're already networking, you're already referring to other people in the community, other business owners, and because you have a holistic mindset, it's a good add-on for you and for your girlfriend because she's also networking with her business. But is there anything that popped up in your mind when you thought of it maybe being an additional stream of income for you?
In terms of?
In terms of adding it on to what you're already doing.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it seemed like a natural fit. It's really easy. Like I said, you know, the biggest thing is because I'm already in front of people all the time, you know, all you really need to do is listen. Eventually someone's going to give you a clue like, oh, my neck hurts, or, oh, I've got migraines. Or if you just open your ears and kind of wait and, you know, back to the whole 2 ears, 1 mouth philosophy, right? Talk a little bit, listen a lot. Everyone will tell you how to sell them. It's just a matter of giving them enough you know, leeway and time to let you know how to do it.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Thank you, James. I think that was really authentic. What he just said was perfect advice for every single one of us. Listen more than we talk and ask questions. And when we're listening, we'll get clues on if it's right for them. So James and Crystal are on today and they enrolled this week. But I sent out probably 10 different links, right? So 10 different people, not everyone opted in, not everyone actually jumped on and put their email in. That's normal. It's totally normal, guys. You're not failing if that happens to you. It happens to every single one of us. The magic is in the action. The magic is in putting it out into the universe that this is what you're going to help this person's life. The magic is in the doing, right? Not in the thinking about doing, not in the preparing for, not in the doing all of the preparation and Facebook and posting. The magic is in the conversations, connecting with someone, filling up your calendar. So one thing I realize I do just as a normal, I think most successful people do, and this is something I noticed that James does. He's always filling his calendar. He's always filling his calendar with meetings with other people that he could do business with. And so I recognized I have my passion planner and my, calendar on my iPhone. I'm always putting in new Zoom call or breakfast mastermind appointments nonstop. If I want to talk to someone face to face and get something done, I'm putting them in my calendar. So I urge every single one of you to fill up your calendar. Be like James. Fill up your calendar and get people, a simple video tour. You want to know what I'm doing? Put your email in here. And this company is something I'm really excited about. A lot of people are going to make a lot of income in this business that's going to be projected. CBD business is projected $24 billion by 2024. That's exciting. And so if you'd like a piece of that in a virtual business, put your email in here and you can find out what we're doing and how we're doing it. Thank you, James, for that insight. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. There's always two things I like to leave salespeople with whenever I hire them or I'm training them. One of them is stories sell. Tell a good story and the product will sell itself. And the other one is desperation is a stinky cologne. Just like you were talking about earlier, Dana, you don't want to sound like you're hungry for the sale. You just kind of lay back on the beat a little bit and just tell a story. It'll sell itself.
Yes, I love that. Yeah. So every single one of you has a testimonial about when you got your products in. If you've gotten your products already, if you haven't gotten them and you're brand new, that's good. You'll have one soon. You can always use someone else's story, right? And we have our Facebook group is called the CBD Lounge. I highly recommend every single one of you drop in that group and just put a testimonial. If we had 44 new testimonials today, imagine the content we would get to be able to tag people in those testimonials. That's really important. So James is right, stories sell. And the next is we don't want to have that desperation. People can feel that energy and it actually repels them. We want to have attraction energy. When we're doing pre-enrollee links, when we're following up with pre-enrollees, what did you love about the video tour? That's my favorite line that I say. What did you love most about the video tour? And I'm very careful about not saying, how did you like the video tour, right? Because then that welcomes their critique. I want to know what they loved most about the video tour. So I'm encouraging positivity from them, encouraging what really what highlighted in that video tour really stood out for them in a positive way. So I highly recommend you guys do that too. The system is incredible. The system follows up with our prospects, but don't expect the email system to be that human connection, right? There's nothing like that human connection. There's nothing like building bonds with people that you really want to help them advance. If you want to help people advance, if you want to help them achieve their dreams with this incredible opportunity, if your belief is high and you're helping people get those belief checks, it's a simple process of talking to 5 people a day. Every day I'm writing down my list of who I'm talking to. And my only advice that I'll finish with is looking for opportunities, making sure your eyes are wide open. So there have been times when people reach out to me that I don't realize this is an opportunity. I have to train my brain to turn it into an opportunity. So for instance, I had 2 different people prospect me for other network marketing companies this week. Both of them took a video tour. So they prospected me. One said, hey, what do you know about HGH? And I said, I think it's awesome. It's not good for everyone, but I think it's awesome. I sell a really great professional strength at my clinic. And I said, what do you know about CBD? And she said, oh, I don't know. What is that? That sounds interesting. And so I explained to her what it's so good for. It's good for stress, feeling grounded. It promotes better sleep. It promotes a healthy inflammatory response. It promotes better brain function. And I'm in the business of CBD. It's one of the most trending products right now. And our business is the #1 CBD company in the world. And a lot of people are going global and making a good amount of residual income with this company. Would you like to know more? And she said, yes, I would love to know more. Awesome. Go to this website and put your email in. Take the video tour and promise me you'll reach back out and let me know what you thought of it. It's really as simple as that. So there's opportunities everywhere, no matter what. You just have to make sure you have your eyes wide open. So how many of you guys are going to have your eyes wide open in every human connection this week? Drop a 1 in the chat below. I want to know if you're going to have your eyes wide open, if we can link arms and all of us look for these great opportunities together. There are so many lives we can change. There are so many people praying for what we have. And we just have to be brave and courageous and ask them what they know about CBD. And then with excitement and passion and happiness, invite them to link arms with our team. We're going big places, but we need more people to help more people.
That was fantastic, Dana. I mean, gosh, what great words of wisdom. James, thank you for all that you added there. It was really spot on. Kind of goes to what I said in the very beginning. This is not a difficult business, guys. It really isn't. It's just a function. Sometimes we have to get out of our own way. And as Dana mentioned, just be aware. Be aware of what's happening. And so I know, Dana, you mentioned how powerful it would be if we had 44 new testimonials in the group. How about if we had 44 people each get 10 new pre-enrollees this week? What would that do to the individual, not to mention the collective business? I think really some great things. So with that said, let's just talk briefly on who should you approach? Who should we approach? Well, to me, there's a pretty simple answer to that. Number one, it's anyone you love and care about. And, you know, some people say anybody that fogs a mirror you should approach. I'm not sure if I totally believe in that, but anybody you love and care about or have a relationship with or had a relationship with should be on that list. I also think at the top of that list, I mean, here's what happens with most people in network marketing. They go to their besties, they go to their speed dial, they go to that low-hanging fruit out of the gate, and whatever happens in that low-hanging fruit space pretty much dictates what they do with the business. And what I would tell you is that one needs to get out of their comfort zone. One needs to, what I call, recruit up. Recruit up. Go to the best, the brightest, the most motivated, the most successful, entrepreneurial-minded people you know, not to mention the busiest people you know, because they're the type of people who get it done. Okay, but ironically, they're the type of people that we're also concerned about in terms of what they will think, or will they say yes, will they say no. Don't worry about the result. Like divorce the result and marry the process, the action that you need to really do. Okay, so you want to go to those type of people, and most importantly, just don't prejudge. You know, you don't know people's situation. I got to be honest. You may know your best friends and your people that are close to you, their situation, but don't prejudge and just never assume anything, because you really never know what's happening in people's worlds, right? So the action plan is pretty straightforward. It's like, you know, it's number one, if you're going to plan weekly and implement daily, each and every week is a new week. Okay, just create your list. And I got to tell you, I'm not overly zealous on social media. It's just not my thing per se. I'm an introvert and I'm a little private, but I'm slowly but surely making my way into it. As a matter of fact, this past week, I'm thinking, you know, I got to start doing Facebook Lives. And I have this fear-based thing around it. So I actually joined Ray Higdon's 14-day challenge, which in essence, I got to do a Facebook Live 14 days in a row. I think it starts on Tuesday. So I got to figure that whole dynamic out. But I'm trying to do what I need to do. You don't have to pay somebody to force my hand for accountability to do it, to get out of my comfort zone. But what I do know about social media, whether you're going live on Facebook or doing a static post, is that you have to engage with those that engage. And to Dana's point, it's amazing. Like, I just look back, and you know how you get your memories up, you know, your memories come up, and like something happened 3 years ago or whatever. And I've looked at some of these recently. I'm like, I haven't approached 90% of these people. Your list is infinite, guys. It really is. And so creating that list at the beginning of every week is important. Being organized with it. I use index cards, call me old school, whatever you want. Get a network notebook, index cards. If you're technologically advanced, do that, whatever. But have a list. Like what Dana said, 5 people per day. Just make the contacts, you know? And that's if you're launching this business. There's no reason you can't contact and have 5 conversations per day. And like I said earlier, ultimately you're gonna get to your cadence. And your cadence should be 1 person per day, at minimum, you know, if you're in this business. And again, if you use the pre-enrollees as your gauge, as your barometer, you're either have them or you don't. If you don't, I mean, don't take it personal, but you're not really engaged in the business. You see, so that is an important piece. So having the list, making the consistent contacts, and then thirdly, have fun with this, guys. I talk about gamification around this thing. I think you just have to have fun with the business. You know, you're doing something good. There's no risk here. Nobody gets hurt. People get results or ultimately get their money back with this business, right? And from a consumer standpoint. So here's what I want to, you know, it goes back to the power of 4, but I want to cut the power of 4 into 2. I just want to kind of help give you a visualization. You're going to have to write this down to do this, but, you know, write on a piece of paper. Okay. If you have a piece of paper, write this down. Okay. We all want to build this big, you know, awesome business, right? But the truth is it always starts with the first step. And so what is the first step? Well, the first step is enrolling 1 on your left and 1 on your right. What is that? 2, right? And so when it comes to the power of duplication, and I just want to preface this, that there's no utopian world. There's no perfect dynamic. But sometimes if you keep your keep your mindset at a simplistic level, powerful things can happen. So here's the thing. I want you to double this for 10 generations, okay? And so you can write this down, do it on your own, but here's how it goes. It goes 2. Now, if 2 get 2, what do you have? 4, right? So 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 150 or 256, 512, 1024. If you go 10 levels, that's what you had. Now, what does that give you? Well, it gives you just over 2,046 customers and or affiliates. But let's just keep it to the affiliates for now. Right? Let's assume that each of those affiliates does 100 BV. That equates to over 200,000. That's actually 204,600 business volume. Now, again, nothing works out in a perfectly balanced way, but if that happened, you'd be earning a minimum of $25,000 per month. That's $300,000 per year. Okay? What if you got half of that right? Could you use an extra $150,000 per year? What if you got just 25% of that right? Like you completely failed and got a 25% on a test. You know, could you use an extra $75,000 a year? How would that impact your lives? So I tell you that story, not to paint this utopian world, but to paint the picture that it's about duplication. And the most important thing you can do, the most important, powerful thing you can do within this compensation plan is do what I call is chase the business. When new people come in, getting them ingrained into the One Team Works Facebook page, getting them welcomed, getting them onboarded properly, trained properly, and going out and getting their first 2 affiliates, it's a pretty powerful thing. Now, again, we went from 100% down to 25%. Imagine it with the power of 4 duplication, what that could be. I'm telling you guys, there have been 10 people, one of the most amazing, a lot of amazing stats that I've acknowledged, you know, via conversations with Josh and Jenna. There have been 10 individuals in my daily choice that have earned over $1 million in the last 30 months alone, of which the majority of them were new to network marketing. Matter of fact, I just friended one. Let me rephrase that. I reached out and sent a friend request to this person who I saw was a 100. What I can't speak. 100K. Yeah, 100K affiliate, and she just came back and accepted my friend request this morning, and I got into a dialogue with her. I said, hey, congratulations, you're amazing. 100K is quite a feat, and I just joined. I'm excited about growing. She didn't know me from Adam, but we started this conversation, and I was like, what's your background? You've been in network? No, I'm brand new to network marketing. Like, I'm not going to stereotype here, guys. This girl is like 24 years old, okay? Single mama of 2 kids, okay? No college education, okay? She just took her passion, got involved, believed in what she was doing, had an emotional why of why she was doing it. And the girl's earning over $25,000 a month in this business. I mean, is that amazing or what? We can all, and again, I don't want to stereotype. If she can do it, we can all do it. That's the point here, guys. That is the point. And so I'm super excited. Those are the things that really jazz me up, honestly. That's the thing. Those are the things that get me excited. Forget my experience. Forget my 27 years of being in this industry. Okay. It's all irrelevant. That's what drives me, and knows that, you know what, we can help a lot of people with this thing. So Dana, I'm going to hand it back to you to kind of close things out, and then we can stop the recording if you like, and go from there.
So I know a lot of you on here have, in the last 6-7 weeks, have gotten really good at getting pre-enrollees. You've figured it out. You've gotten your own system. You've gotten so I would like to open it up for a couple of you. Think about what you do that works. And please share it with us so you can help us, right? Because our voices are powerful. So I'm going to invite Tara